Hello everyone, welcome to Always Open episode, lucky number 3.
Is 3 a lucky number?
Three times a charm.
It's my lucky number, third time's a charm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a thing.
Just question.
I'm not crazy. I'm your host, Barbara Dunkelman, and with me tonight I have...
Jessica Vasami.
Woo!
Oh, I forgot that we're supposed to do that.
Woo! Not every time.
John Reisinger.
Boo! Just kidding.
Come on!
Oh, John. It's okay. And I'm Mariel Salcedo.
Boo! See, now I do it for everybody.
Yeah,
Now it's
yeah.
equal.
I didn't get a boo, just to be clear.
It's true. Well, you're sitting next to me, so you
Okay,
get
cool.
special treatment.
Cool.
Boo.
Happy to have you all here, guys.
Thanks. Thanks, babes.
I picked people who have very dark brown hair to
Yeah,
come join
we're all
me
here
to
on the
revolt
show.
against you.
I feel
some
very
dark
out of
hair.
place,
Yeah.
but I like it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get drunk, guys.
All right.
So today's shout out is from Samantha D, and it is called The Fall Semester. Ooh, I love that name.
Okay.
And it is half hard apple cider and half Fireball whiskey. Shout out to you, Samantha D.
Ooh.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Tinky, tinky,
Smells
tinky.
good.
Tinky,
does.
tinky, tinky,
Ding.
tinky.
All right.
Chinky, chinky.
Oh.
That was delicious.
Don't worry. Everyone the first time forgets to slam the table.
Ooh.
That's
It
nice.
tastes like Christmas.
I believe John has that entire
I just have that actual drink in drink
Yeah.
form.
drink.
Just Fireball whiskey and cider.
It's a
He
lot.
made it like a
good.
triple.
It's
right?
tasty.
And you have a martini.
I
I
like
do. It is extra dirty. Like lots of vodka, but then you cover it up with a lot of olive juice, and then by the time you're done drinking it, you're like, where am I?
It's just it's such a grown-up drink. I would never, and I don't feel like a grown-up at all. So
I'm an
like,
adult.
Oh, are you?
Oh.
I doubt that.
I'm not. So
Okay, I'm
So you've never had a martini?
I'm babysitting today, aren't I?
I have like cranberry juice and like there's
You're
probably a gummy
babysitting.
worm.
I gotta
in
be
there.
at least like 5 years older than you.
How old are you?
32?
Yep.
Are you just not gonna name your age?
I'm 28.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm pushing 30, y'all.
Oh my
Basically
God.
30. You're so old.
All right, guys. So my topic for today, I've seen it all over the internet, the clown sightings, which I have no idea. I think it came from a UCLA student who was doing some sort of like art project or like
It was.
performance project. Do you know more about that?
Well, yeah, we were talking with Brian from Broadcast, and he was explaining, and it reminded me what I had read early on, was it was an art project. That's all it was. He was, I think he was taking pictures on the beach, doing it, that kind of thing, and that's all it was, like a small art project. And then internet.
Internet took it a little
See,
step too far.
I thought it came from the fact that they announced Stephen King's It, and so that it was just kind of like a publicity stunt. Like that's where I thought it
Was
came
it people upset at how shitty the new design looks? Is that what it
from.
was?
That could have been it.
Apparently, Stephen King was forced to calm people the fuck down.
Yeah,
He
'cause
did on
it's his fucking
Twitter.
fault.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Why
guy.
is it his fault?
Is it
He
because
didn't-
of
he
it?
didn't-
What is it?
Yeah, but he.
Oh,
Scary clown.
I mean,
should see
like,
it.
there's a clown in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I
the
just
worst
have that.
clown ever in
Yes.
all of existence,
Yeah.
played by Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Oh,
who did it?
yeah.
Who did it so well though? He
Oh,
was
it's so
good
frightening.
as the clown.
Yeah.
I can't
that's
watch
so
it,
old.
and I can't watch The Shining. Can't watch
It
either
is
of
so
those.
old.
Yeah, but it's being remade because that's
it
what we
is.
do now.
Didn't
Yeah.
know that.
And I feel like a lot of people are like our age. I don't know, our age-ish in this
I'm
general
27.
area.
I'm close.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually
saw-
closer to her age than I am.
Yeah.
So
I saw it
Our
as a kid though. My parents are huge horror buffs, and I saw it as a kid, and so I ended up watching it as a child. And I did not go near drains for like a week. I didn't shower. I didn't go in the deep end of the pool. Didn't wash my hands after I pissed and
I
shit.
accidented on it. Like flipping through the channel on TV, and I was like, "Oh, there's a clowns! What the hell?"
And then you're sitting there
Yeah.
watching it. You're
Yeah, I was like, "No, I can't."
yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
there's Tim Curry.
Why does the
terrifying.
hand look like that?
Because he's a killer clown.
He turns into this giant,
Yeah.
huge, crazy spider thing with
Yeah.
a light coming out of it.
It's
Yeah.
pretty. It's
I
pretty.
don't fuck with clowns. Never. I've never seen that movie. Never will watch it. I
Yeah.
don't fuck with clowns.
I never saw that movie, so I never had an issue with clowns. Is that
Okay.
where it spurs from for most people, you think?
I don't think
That-
so, because I think I had the fear before the movie, just because I thought clowns are creepy.
They're very creepy.
They are creepy.
Just
Well,
the makeup or
that
something.
movie and Poltergeist, the clown sitting in the
Poltergeist is
rocking
pretty
chair,
bad.
and then,
I've seen that.
pulling the kid from underneath the bed. That's what did it for me as a
Poltergeist.
child.
Another one they remade. Why not?
It's also like that circus music that they play like slowly with the
Yeah.
clown like
Ding, 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 ding.
and it's just like the
Yeah.
head tilt.
Just like
Yeah.
a fake
Wide eyes
smile.
smile.
It's just like I can't do it. I can't do it.
I played a clown in a recent episode of $1 Million, but
You
it wasn't as scary.
You just have like the wig and the nose.
Yeah,
Like it
no.
was. Beep, beep. I'm not scared of you.
You're a cute clown.
That's the kind of clown I'm used to seeing, so I'm not really scared of
I have a
them.
really scary clown story.
Go for it.
Okay.
A friend of mine, he had this story when we were young in high school that he would tell about where when he was like young, like let's say 8 years old, that his house was at the end of a cul-de-sac in a pretty nice neighborhood, and his family was a little well off, and so their house was pretty nice and big, and their stairwell led down, as some houses do, straight to the door. You know, kind of like
Like
in
the front door?
Yeah, like the Psycho house. You know, in that in that movie, like that kind of thing. Their front door is one of those doors that had a giant glass window.
Oh no.
He woke up one night, middle of the night, and thought he heard something. And he walks out his upstairs, out to the banister, and looks down the stairs. And through the window is a clown
Oh.
outside, and the clown is doing this.
Nope.
That can't have happened.
He ran to his parents, screaming, as a child should when they see that. And they came out, and of course the clown was gone and wasn't there. And so they're like, "Yeah, you're crazy. You know, you're a dumb little kid." Like I don't know. Sometime later on the news came a story about a guy luring kids out of their houses
Oh, fuck. And
as
that was
clowns.
it.
Also, what
Fucking terrifying.
kid would actually open the door?
I don't know, dumb kid.
Dumb kids. Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to lure a kid out of the house, like maybe dress up as like the ice cream truck man.
What's that look
Something
like?
a little bit more like
A
friendly.
nice like
It depends
jolly.
on what. Well, no, it depends on what neighborhood you're in.
Yeah,
If you're in like East Austin,
That's
Yeah.
true.
you've got
They're
like
scary
a
as
decrepit
shit.
old Mexican man.
that's the
Yeah,
only
you buy
person
ice
I've
cream.
ever bought ice cream from.
Oh, not in Canada, no. We
Obviously.
Because you don't have Mexicans in Canada.
do.
I've grown up
have
in
everyone
like
in Canada.
Southern California and Texas my entire life now, and so I've just been in like where
Yeah.
old
in-
Mexican
in
dudes sell
Austin,
ice
yeah.
cream.
In Austin, it's the skinny hipster guy. That's what I've seen.
In certain-
Austin.
No.
Like,
Yeah,
riding
only
the
in the
bicycle.
gentrified fucking neighborhoods, but like you go to like
Yeah.
Southeast Austin,
Yeah.
and you hear like the.
You mean where I live?
Yeah. Yeah, you hear the music, and then
They're
like
also
you're
on a
just, like,
bicycle with like a little
Yeah,
thing.
they're
on the
either on a
back.
bike or like on a van that should have been like out of commission 30
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Buy a nice
Yeah.
frozen horchata on a stick.
Yeah.
Would you run out of the house when you heard the ice cream truck? Was that a thing that you
When I
did
was
as a kid?
younger.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I still do it.
Hey,
So cute.
I'm just like,
Ice cream?
does everybody know? Does everybody remember the buy from an ice cream truck or even like at a store the little like salt pack things?
Like Lucas?
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Okay.
no, Lucas.
I'm so glad Mariel's here.
Oh my
I am
No.
a Mexican.
I was
no idea what
like,
you
I
guys
thought
are
that was
talking
yeah. See, you guys had never heard of it, and I thought like everyone had grown up like eating like that
I
was.
thought you
the-
meant like Pop Rocks. at
no,
first, but
This is like flavored salt.
Yeah, it's just like salt. Like it's
is it
just
salt
like,
already?
It's kind of like okay. Think of like pixie
My
sticks.
mouth is watering.
What's
just
pixie
thinking about
sticks?
Pixie sticks is like sugar.
Flavored sugar. This is like the
like
pixie.
powder,
this is the
though.
Mexican pixie sticks.
Yeah, it's
and they're like, sugar, no, we just do salt.
And what's
Yeah.
it called? Lucas?
Lucas.
yeah, used to buy that.
Well, we have to try it now.
We do.
I have to go
They also
try it.
like
After this, we
this.
should
They have
go
this
get
like
Lucas.
twang
Yeah.
now. It's like the thing you see. It's like the twang, and like people put it like it's like beer salt kind of. Like
Isn't
Yeah.
a twang something
Oh,
you call
you did this at
someone's
the gas
accent?
station?
Yeah, yeah, gas
okay.
stations,
All right,
but,
then
like-
I've seen it. I just haven't.
So
tried
there's
it
the
before.
twang, and that's like in like literally like a little jar like this. But
Yeah.
then they have like the Lucas, and it's just like a packet.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
We used to
small?
buy that.
What
Huh?
does it look like?
Like a sweet and
sugar
low packet, like
yeah.
that kind of size, and you
And you
just buy
just-
that and you pour it in your mouth, and it's like
Yeah.
flavored salt.
It's so good.
That's I
Oh my
ate
God,
that.
that's literally water.
I ate that a lot. I'm
God.
so glad.
Oh
I
my
dated
God.
someone that I was trying to talk about that, and they
Yeah.
were like, "I've never heard of this." And I'm like, "Are you crazy?" And I couldn't remember what it was called.
Lucas. Fuck yeah.
Never once ever heard those words before. Lucas.
gosh.
Lucas
Well-
salt.
What a
Yeah.
privileged white life you lead.
Listen, I had drumsticks. Okay.
Somehow I lived a privileged white life as well, but I knew what those are.
You know what
So your friend saw a clown. And how long ago was that?
This was like, well, when he was 8, so it's got to be like 20 odd years ago.
Cut to 2016. People are doing it again.
Yeah.
This is what I think.
They're
is-
not luring people out of houses.
No, but aren't they like assaulting people?
Yeah. So actually,
Like-
in San Marcos, which is like 45 minutes away from here, there was like a clown sighting at a park, and then like I don't know if it was the same clown or like the day of or what, but then a girl was like assaulted outside of her apartment
Oh
complex.
Jesus.
And so it's just like, what the fuck? And I think in Maynard too, which isn't too far from us, there was like
Yeah.
a kid, like a teenager who dressed up in a clown suit and just like walking down the neighborhood, like knocking on people's doors.
Did he get like arrested or charged?
I think he got arrested. Yeah.
What point in your life do you have to get to that is so low that you decide, I'm going to be a clown?
Yeah.
Like, that's just
Yeah.
giving
Yeah.
up.
Have you guys seen the movie The Plague or like no, not The Plague, Purge, The Purge.
Yeah.
I think I saw the first one.
I don't watch
There's
horror
a small,
movies. Apparently.
well, no, this isn't like the best horror movie ever. I saw the first one and know the premise of it and whatnot, but I feel like you know,
Did you say I
people-
saw the first one and know the premise?
Yes, well, yeah. I mean, there's other ones. There's other ones, like the Purge election year that's going to be
That's the
coming
third
out or
one.
something. Yeah. And so I feel like a lot of like someone or a bunch of crazy people, the crazy people that are just like usually stay indoors because, you know, there's no reason for them to come out or like there's a, you know, they're too
That's
scared.
me. I stay indoors all the time.
Now that all these other crazy clown people are coming out, they're just like, all right, I'm going to do this too. And they're bringing the crazies out. And now it's like some weird purge shit going
Well, this
on.
poses
I feel.
the question of like, does social media make things like this worse?
Yes. Oh, I
Because
bet. Oh,
Yes.
people
1000%.
see the shit and they're just like, I'm gonna be part
I'm
of
going to
this
do it
trend.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's
really
like the take the photo of yourself while high-fiving, and like someone did it, and then like all that proceeded after that was everyone trying to do it and breaking their phones.
Well, it was also the what was it called? Planking.
Planking.
Yeah.
Where people did that, and I know some people died from that because they planked on like the edge of some building or
Yeah.
cliff and ended up falling off.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of stuff that has come out too that you can tell that's like obviously been staged. It's like, all right, like put on a clown mask, like
Some
we're
of
gonna make a
them?
viral video. Now.
Oh, I haven't seen
But
those.
I don't. If I see a clown, like I'm not stopping.
So
No.
If it's running towards me, I'm gonna fucking kill it.
Is Halloween gonna fuck people up then?
I didn't
I'm
even
not
think
going
about that.
Because just people dressed as clown, you won't know who.
Yeah,
I bet there's
you're
people-
right.
You got a big boyfriend, you're fine.
There's a few big guys. The company we could buy.
Yeah.
Rent out for the weekend.
Yeah, right.
Adams. And
Your boyfriend.
yeah.
Yeah.
The big buff guys. Well, this brings up, it's actually a perfect segue into our Ask Us Anything. And this question is from Reese TL. Have you ever had any supernatural, paranormal, or unexplained experiences?
I've had an experience. I believe in nothing as far as the paranormal or like ghosts or any of that bullshit. It's all stupid. But I did have an unexplained incident once. One of my first jobs was as an editor, and I was one time at the office, and I was working late, like super late. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden at one point just heard the sound of someone striking the door with their fist
Like a
as hard as
pounding?
possible once.
Oh.
Just a boom. And I'm by myself in this, like, you know, the office, like freaking out.
Fuck that. Holy
Immediately
shit.
called my friend, or like I like used AOL Instant Messenger at the time, and aimed him, and he was the janitor of the place. And I was like, and he's this like big old 300-pound Viking like football player dude. I was like, hey dude, you over here right now?
You knocking?
And
You just fall over?
and he was like, no, I'm not working tonight. I'm not there. I'm like, hey, so you want to come by? Yeah, and so as I'm chatting, another 2 pounds comes. And it's like, boom, boom. So I wait, and I'm just like frozen in fear. I wait like a minute or so, lights on in the office. So I just go and I turn off the light in the office.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So that no one can see inside or see that I'm in there or see a shadow of me walking around. And so also so I could get to, there was a window that was around another office that I could look through the blinds and try to see if someone was
You're
out
right,
there.
you're right.
And so I'm trying to be tactical here, okay?
Yeah, okay, I get
see
it.
what
I
you're
get
doing.
you.
And so I went out there, couldn't see anybody, and I found a giant lead pipe somewhere in one of the offices, just sat at my desk and waited until my friend showed up. He showed up, and
That's nice of him to actually
he
come.
did. Well, he actually lived just down the street, so it wasn't too much of him. And he's a late night guy, anyways. He comes, and we actually, again, probably not one of the smartest things. We patrolled the place, tried to find what it was.
Hashtag white people. I would have gotten the fuck out
The
of
only
there.
reason I did it was
This
because
is how people die in
right.
horror movies.
The only reason I did it was
Let's
because I
explore.
had
I know,
my
I
giant
know.
friend with me.
Yeah.
And I was following him very closely from behind, holding a giant lead pipe. We didn't find anything, so I have no idea what that was.
What would you have done if you did find someone? Just
We thought it might have been like, you know, like, I don't know, some vagrant or a homeless
burglar?
guy. Yeah. But it was just very scary, like, you know, friends come and they're like, "Ah," like that.
The
Sometimes
knocks were precise.
it was
you're
just
right.
a boom.
That's when
Yeah.
you're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Out of here.
I'm out of here.
Please, yeah.
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 So,
Part of this.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Okay.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
What about you, Jessica?
Okay. Well.
She's like, have I
Just like,
got
let me get my list
First
out.
off, first things first. I was raised Catholic, so there's the whole demon thing a part
I know
of
exactly,
that.
yep.
And although I'm not Catholic anymore, I'm searching right now. I don't know what. I don't know if I'll ever find the
I'll
meaning
pray
of
for you.
life. Thank you. Pray for me, please. Yes, I'm still searching.
Expecting Mariel to do the crucifix.
She just did. You
wanna do
missed
the
it.
Oh, I missed it.
She also kissed her fingers.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So even though I'm not Catholic anymore, that stuff is still inside me. Like they stuck that deep into my brain.
It gets in there.
Ooh, it's in
It
there.
gets in there.
Yeah, the guilt too.
You have to shovel it for forever.
Ooh, yeah, you're
You
right.
have to just keep
shovel.
shoveling forever to
You're
get,
right. Every
get that
day
stuff
it's just
out of
like
there. There's still some more. Where is this coming from?
Yeah. So when I watch, so there's certain movies that scare me, and those are only like possession, demonic, ghost movies. Those are the ones that scare me because there is a part of me that believes in that stuff because of the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
Like the movies like Scream or like I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's like some dude with a knife, so that's fine.
Of course.
But when I was in high school, I did have a full year where I played with the Ouija board a lot. And yeah,
Is that the
no.
thing where you like have the thing over the letters
And
and
your
Yes.
friends move it without
Yes.
saying they're moving
Yeah.
it?
So I had some
No,
very
it's the powers.
You're right,
the
it's the
powers.
powers. And
Ghosts.
to this day, I don't know. Because again, like I am very skeptical of this kind of stuff. I don't know what happened during those times, but there were some weird things that happened, such as at the time I was dating, when I was 16, 17, I was dating a guy that was Hispanic. And we were
Really?
at his house.
Really?
We were at his house, and his house is filled with like crosses, and they were devout Catholics, and yeah,
Devout.
for sure, they for sure were. And so I told him, I was just like, I've been playing with the Ouija board. My friend told me about it, and it works, and it's crazy. And he's like, I don't want to play with that. I was like, please do it for me. You know, I was like,
Ooh,
I just,
you bad influence.
I know. I was like, please. And he's just like, fine. So like, we have our fingers on it, and it doesn't move for like 15 minutes. And he's like, it's not working. It's not working.
No one was doing it. That's why.
And I was just like, can we please? I was like, it's gonna keep working. You just have to open yourself up to it. Open yourself up to it. And so he's just like, fine. And so we were sitting there, and then finally it starts moving, and it starts moving slow as fuck. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna take forever. He doesn't believe me. He thinks I'm making up some bullshit. And so finally it starts moving, and we're talking. Things are weird, you know. And it is strange that I will say. So say for instance, like this is the thing. And you have one person from over here, one person from over here.
holding the little like
Yeah,
holding a thing.
the
Well, you're just
the little
scroller
lens.
thing.
the movement is coming from up here, like someone is pulling it from over here, and you do feel a heaviness on your hand, which is really strange. And I don't know whether or not that's just
Probably
the
the
power
blood
of
loss
energy.
from standing there for 15 minutes.
Maybe. But so anyways, it starts moving, and it starts saying it just we're making small talk, and I know you're just like, what's that?
With
But
the
it was
ghost-
happening.
Like you?
How
Yeah,
are
you
you?
are like the ghost.
Yeah.
This weather, am I
ghost,
right?
It was just like,
How
hello,
about that
like,
local
hi,
sports
are
team?
you there? It was that type of stuff, like, are you there? Like, do you want to talk to us?
You up?
Yes. And then finally, out of nowhere, it decides to spell out muerte, which means, like, what does that mean? Die or death?
Muerte?
Yeah.
Yeah. like
Die or death in Spanish.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So he
Why didn't you ask
immediately,
me?
like,
Mexican here.
Or
Why'd
me.
you ask Muriel?
yeah.
The Canadian Mexican.
She look at her, she presents herself.
What is
Olay.
that?
Olay.
Olay. The most
Oh my god. That's so culturally relevant.
Terrible.
No, but it spells out muerte, and like he immediately he pushes it off. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I didn't want to do this in the first place. And I was like, please, okay. And I was like, what does that mean? And that's when he explained it to me, and I was like, oh shit.
That's
I was like,
fucked up.
okay, so I was like, let's go back and at least say that we don't mean it any harm. Like, we're sorry that we bothered whatever this is that is giving us some bad energy. And so I came back to it, and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry. We come in peace. Yeah, just kidding. We come in peace. All this, and of course, me being the crazy person that I am, I'm just like, well, but what are you? Like, what's going on? You know, like, who are you?
What are
What's
you
going on?
into?
And basically, it says that it was a negative energy, but it wasn't here for me or for him or for his mom. It was for his father, and just he
How do
is
you
a
get
real-
that? Like how like
It was like, are you here to hurt him? No. Are you here to hurt his mom? No. I was like, what about his dad?
So
And I said,
theoretically
yes.
speaking, in the event that there is no paranormal activity and that thing was moved by one of you had it out for his dad.
But hear it out though. It gets even crazier. And so we're just like, okay. And his dad, and like, I don't want to say too much because he's a real person, but like his dad wasn't. Obviously, he's a real person. He wasn't.
I keep hitting my mic. I'm sorry.
His dad wasn't a very nice man. He did a lot of bad
Yep.
things.
So he
and I don't
moved
wanna-
it.
I don't want to explain what he did, but like he did some horrible things in his life that weren't so great.
Not a good person.
Not a good person. And so I was just like, so if this thing is after his dad, I was like, where is it? And it spelled out standing on washing machine. And I was like, this
What
thing
a
is
weird
standing on
does
top of
that
the washing.
take, though?
Yeah, it spells it out. Standing on a washing machine, and then of course he freaks out. My
Run.
boyfriend at the time.
Were you near the
because
washing
his-
machine?
No, we're on the other side of the house, but they usually put their dog in there to whenever people come over, and the dog screams at the top of its lungs whenever it's in there, and there's scratch marks on the back of the door because it hates being in there. But then when they put it in the kitchen and they gate it up, it's fine. And so he was just like, that's why the dog doesn't like being in there, and he just like freaked out, all this other stuff. And so then I was like, okay, we gotta go, bye, you're freaking me out, I hate this, you're a demon. And then the next day, me and him are
spell that
chatting
thing
on
all
AOL. No, I was just like, bye, bitch. And the next day, we're on AOL, AIM, Instant
Yeah.
Messenger, and he was just like, hey, be right back, I'm gonna go, my mom's outside, she needs help bringing in the groceries. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm just sitting there waiting there, and then all of a sudden, I get a bring, and it says die on it. And so then whenever he gets back to his computer, I'm like, why did you say that? And he's like, I didn't say that. I was like, you spelled out die to me. And he's like, I didn't spell that out. I didn't do that. And I was just like, well, then who did? He's like, I don't know. And then he calls me, and he's like, I really didn't do that. And I'm just like, fuck. I was like, whatever we were talking to the other day is like after me. And so I would never again have I played with him
You're giving me
or
chills.
doing
I know,
anything.
I'm scared.
That's
Never-
just one story.
I didn't
have
play
so
with
many
him
weird
anymore.
stories.
Do you
I
play
have
with
so
your
many
boyfriend
fucking
anymore?
stories.
Just
the
didn't play with him.
I don't. No, there was a time.
I think I haven't
was
done a
in high
Ouija.
school.
Do we have a Ouija
high
board? Can we do a Ouija board right now?
I
Why?
stopped doing it because
scared.
what I learned though is that even if you are just harmless and you're just trying to talk to like sweet people, you are also opening that up to negative energy. And I was like, not doing that anymore.
Well, like, why were you even into it in the first place?
Because that stuff is just fascinating to me, and I don't know if it's real or not. To this day, I'm very skeptical of it. I'm not sure. I'm just like, maybe it's not, maybe it is. I don't know, but it is fascinating to me.
I would use a Ouija board to my advantage if I had one. I'd like if I was using it with my boyfriend, I'd be like, "Go down, Barbara." Whoa! The
Oh my
spirit!
God.
That's awesome. Yes.
The
Yes.
spirit's so
The spirits, they
kinky.
just
Grab
want you
her
to-
by the pussy.
Oh!
I do have one other story involving AIM, since this seems to be our theme. Quick story. One of the only times, like, you know, I have a family of 2 siblings and 2 parents, and so very rarely ever had the house to myself when I was growing up and that kind of thing. Very rarely ever was alone in the house. But there was a night where I was alone for the whole night by myself. I was in my upstairs bedroom, and I was again talking with friends on AIM and that kind of thing, and live journaling as you do.
Zanga? Remember Zanga?
I remember Zanga.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, telling my friends like, "Hey, we should play some Counter-Strike or something like that." My desk is here. My window, upstairs room, is here. Screen on the window, you know, that kind of thing. Those like wire screens. I hear on the screen, and I was like.
It was that same guy who was knocking.
So I start chatting my friend that I'm like, hey, something just happened. I think I just heard a noise. And he's like, what did you hear? And I was like, I think I just heard some scratching. And I heard scratching again.
Oh no!
And my blinds are closed. And there ain't no fucking way I'm gonna look through those blinds if that's scratching. And so with my light on and everything like that. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of freaking out. He's like, you like, tell me what's going on, that kind of thing. And it's really quiet in my room, and I just hear,
Nope.
No, come on.
but then it goes,
Bullshit.
John, and I can hear it's my friend's voice.
Oh,
One of my friends had climbed up my parents' house onto the roof, and I opened up my blinds really quickly, and he's out there. He's like, "Hey!"
what a jerk!
Yeah,
Oh my god, what if
fucking
Was
scared
he?
me.
He's scratching too.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
guessing.
he was. So like, it was the first time he said John. It was like a whisper. Then I could hear his like falsetto voice saying my name.
gosh.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I have a question for you though. If you don't believe in supernatural stuff and all that,
Yeah.
before you knew it was your friend, why are you so scared? What do you think it is?
Cause that dude could just be outside my window.
Like a human.
Like a real
Yeah,
human?
like a
It's like
Okay.
it's the thing. It's like in the moment you're just still scared of the unknown.
Yeah.
I don't know what's making. Nothing good could be making noise like that outside my window. Even if it was an animal, I don't want to open my window to an
I
animal
also have
scratching
seen
it.
enough horror movies. Where
Yeah, I mean, I've watched like I love certain horror films. I don't really care for the horror film genre, but I love certain ones that are actually just well-made horror films. And one I would say in the category is Paranormal Activity.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Ever seen Paranormal Activity?
I think
Fuck, Paranormal Activities.
But I made the. And again,
That's
I don't
too,
believe
like,
in paranormal
it's
stuff.
too
I don't
real.
believe in anything.
It's too real.
Right. I don't believe in anything in the afterlife or ghosts or anything like
Yeah.
that. But I watched that movie in my 100-year-old house I was renting at
Oh,
night
that creaks like
in the dark
crazy.
in my room. Where does that movie take place? In a dark bedroom the entire time. Did I freak the fuck out because my house makes noises throughout the night? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that I don't think anything could be there. It's just even still the illogical can scare you.
That's very true. The unknown.
I have like such a boring story compared to this. And it only happened one time to me in one place. So I used to go to school in Montreal. And
That's in Canada.
It is. And so I rented this apartment that was like in an older building. And it would creak a lot at night and it would do all these things, but that's like all normal with everything. But a few times, I had this TV in my apartment that I've had years, and it's been totally fine TV. There was about 4 or 5 instances where it would just turn on. But it wouldn't turn on to the channel I was watching, it would turn on to the fuzz.
Nice.
Of course.
In the middle of the night, every time. And I'd have to like wake up and turn it off. And I didn't think anything of it because I was like half asleep. And I was like, what the fuck, turn it off. And it kept happening like over and over again after a couple nights. And then I
TV fairies.
moved to a new apartment, never did it again. And so it made me think like, what the fuck was going on with this apartment building and this TV?
Electronics can fuck with you because they can have weird problems that
They
just
could.
seem.
They like are very mundane, but you're just like,
And I don't believe in any of that shit. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in like paranormal shit.
I wish I didn't, because it fucks with my
I
head.
know. And I think maybe it's because I didn't really have a very religious upbringing, so like
it-
that's
yeah,
a big part of it
changes
maybe.
Catholicism!
I also didn't watch a lot of horror movies.
I didn't either.
So I wasn't really influenced by like having those thoughts in my head. There's plenty of times where I would see a shadow that would look like a human. I'd be like, oh, it's just my coat. Or like some shit like that.
It's so funny. I don't believe in the paranormal activity or anything like that. There's no such thing as monsters or ghosts or anything like that. But I am adoring listening to this podcast I found recently called Lore, which is written by this guy named Aaron Mahnke who does
L-O-R-E?
L-O-R-E, like folklore.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's this short form bi-weekly podcast. He's a writer, writes stories, and he writes these 20-minute podcasts that cover lore and paranormal stuff in this great like narrative like form that he does that I love it. Even though I don't think any of it's true,
It is still
it's still
fascinating.
fascinating.
Yeah.
They
It
talk
is.
about like things like that which you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he goes over like haunted hotels and stuff like that, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It
how
is just
people
fun to
experience
listen
that.
It's still fascinating. It's still
Yeah,
fascinating. It's still a good
absolutely.
story. We were talking just before the podcast started about our love of vampires. Like I don't think vampires exist. I wish they existed.
Oh, I
That's
wish
awesome.
they did too.
hey,
I
hey,
sure
actually,
do.
Texas knows a vampire.
So, all right. So there is a gentleman friend of mine. His name is Joey Slane, and he actually is. He considers himself a vampire.
What does
So,
that mean?
I questioned myself. I didn't know either, but I guess he explained what it was all about. So I guess you probably have to check it out. He has a live feed,
Okay.
and they explain what their ruling is, whether it's vampirism through blood or sex or like just feeding off of people's energy. Yeah, I know. But they feed off people's energy. So yeah. So he was telling me about that, and I was like, interesting.
Does
so
he have the surgically input teeth?
he
too?
actually puts. I think that some of the people in the group have the surgical,
Like
the
veneers?
dental,
Yeah.
the dental veneers, but I think that his are just like clip-ons.
everything.
We talking like an 8 or a 9?
I'm saying he's pretty close. Yeah,
He's like
an 8 or
buff
9.
and he's like got
tattoos
he's like
and
tats.
big
Is he
hair.
You've
like-
seen pictures?
Oh, I've seen
Is
I,
he,
I sent Meryl pictures because
Yeah.
we were talking about how handsome he was, and yeah, I was like, well, this is what he looks like, and his bedroom has a big winged bat behind it,
Yeah.
and he's
Wow.
like
that
very.
kinda takes it down a notch.
So does he like
I was
kissing
interested
people
for a
like on the
second.
neck? Is that like his thing?
I don't know, but I wouldn't mind if he
Like
kissed
he
me
loves
on
the
neck.
hickeys?
All right.
Let's give
Let's give him a call. Let's get him on the
Yeah,
show.
I mean he's actually fun to look at. So I mean I didn't watch. I was obviously at ACL, so I didn't watch his show. But I am curious to go look at the Facebook and see what's going on there. So you can
I need
check
to
it out.
meet a real life vampire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a real life vampire. And apparently there's more in Austin.
Yeah,
so you
there's like a
should,
whole vampire
Do they also come out with the bats at night?
Like every night the bats come out of the Congress Bridge.
They could be the best actually. You never know.
They like they're on a boat, just like following.
Yeah.
them.
Thanks,
Thanks, Texas.
You're so
we'll have to
welcome.
meet him.
Mine is actually like kind of similar, like a demon type of thing. But I've had 2 specific dreams that I know of that have just been like I wake up and I'm just like, there was something in my room. Like there is some like dark natural force. One of them, not important, but the one that like has the
One of the
Well,
let's
'cause
just
it's
not
like
even talk
understand.
about.
that great of a story.
Yeah.
But the second one was actually when I told the story when I was living with my brother in LA and we shared a room, and we were like we shared a room. I had an air mattress on the floor and he had like his bed like a few feet away, and I fell asleep and then I woke up but I was still dreaming, didn't realize it, and I was looking around, and then I like walked over to my brother and noticed that like he wasn't breathing, and so I started freaking out.
You
and
did
I
a
was,
little
like,
nose
screaming.
test?
Yeah, like I just like his chest wasn't moving, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like trying to shake him, and like I couldn't move him, couldn't wake him, couldn't do anything. Then I looked over in the corner of the room, and there's just like this dark hooded figure just like
Oof.
sitting there staring, and so I just start screaming, and then like. In real life, I wake up and my brother like is over me, just like shaking me, like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Like,
Because you were like screaming.
because I was
at night.
screaming in my sleep, yeah.
That's scary.
And it's still like one of those things that it's like I think about it
You feel it
sometimes when I
sometimes.
So you
Yeah.
have night terrors?
like I've literally like 2 or 3 times in my life has been the only times, and it's always a very similar thing, like dark hooded figure in the corner. Like I probably got some demon, trying to fuck me up.
Or just death is chasing you?
Yeah, God,
Literally.
yeah.
I have one other story that didn't happen to me, but it happened to my mom's chiropractor's. Well,
Wait.
my mom's
Please
chiropractor.
go another level of separation.
Your mom's
My mom's chiropractor, and his wife. So it was like the two of them.
Their family.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're family. The chiropractor and my wife. Yeah, and
My mom's
basically-
chiropractor's dog walker's
Yeah,
sister's
and Poop's cousin. And
Wait, what?
I don't know.
cousin.
Poop's cousin. Poop is a human.
Okay.
Anyway.
Keep going, tell the
John,
story.
Okay. He got home late from work one night, and this is like around 7, I'd say. I don't know. Doesn't really
So
matter.
late.
Yeah. And gets out of his car, and his wife's car is parked right next to him, and he sees this black figure kind of like squatting on top of his wife's car, and just like it's like a squat,
on
and it was
top of the
completely
hood or
on top of the hood of the car. Yes, on top of the car, and it was completely pitch black except the eyes. He said were glowing, and he said they were just glowing eyes, and so there was no communication between the two. They just both stared at each other. This thing and him. And he
Gave
said
a
that
simple stop.
yeah. And he said that he could feel like the hate and rage coming from it, like very, very horrible negative
As you
feelings
do.
coming from it.
Of course.
Yeah. And
As
so
the glowing eyes tend to project.
exactly. And it's like this weird dark figure squatting on top of a car, just staring at you, like, hey, what's going on?
Just taking
and
a
so-
shit.
Just taking a shit, just chill. This is my
Nice
chill
squat.
spot. And he runs inside. They're both religious people. They're both Christians, and they go inside and they pray and they read the Bible, all this stuff. The
As you
next
do
day,
when you're frightened.
as you do. And the next day,
That's the fix.
his wife got into a car accident, and they had to use the jaws of life to take her out, but she
Whoa.
actually survived.
Wow.
And that was a story that hit a little close to home because it was like my mom's chiropractor, as in somebody that she knows, that she sees on a regular basis and talks to, and he just told her this story, and I was just like, that's a little weird. I have to say that was a strange.
Does she
situation.
continue to go to him?
I mean, yeah,
Even
she's
though
gone to him
he's-
for like years and years and years.
He's
yeah.
cursed.
He's
Yeah.
cursed by a demon.
That was a weird one.
Pooping, squatting, taking a squat in a
squat and a poop.
I hate those
Pop and
squat
squat.
demons.
Yep, squat, pooping.
Squapping?
Squapping. Okay, yeah, I like that.
You know what else is squapping?
What's squapping?
The Rooster Teeth store.
It's so squapping.
Squapping.
So squapping.
This episode of Always Open is brought to you by the Rooster Teeth store. Find your favorite merch over at store.roosterteeth.com. Shop the current Halloween limited edition collection for all your spoopy needs. As we wrote in the copy here. Grab
or
yours
spoopy?
before you're gone. I also
Before you're gone,
before they're gone. Grab yours.
please
before
grab
they're
your
gone.
shirts before you die.
Listen,
Fuck.
it's our store. We could do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Write whatever copy we want in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, for
Mary, what'd you put
example,
in there?
she also wrote, I don't know, Barbara, just make some shit up about the store.
Just make them shut up.
That's store.roosterteeth.com. Check
Hit
it
up
out.
the store, ladies and gentlemen.
There's actually a lot of really cool new stuff in there.
Good
Like,
producers
For
are a
sure.
hard thing to find.
Including your stuff. I need to get one of
Yeah.
your shirts.
I have a whole new collection
Yeah,
that
I got
actually...
People have been liking your shirts.
I met
Yeah.
some...
don't know why.
I was over at New York Comic Con this weekend. Shut up! I was over at
God.
New York Comic Con this weekend. I actually saw some people wearing it. It was
Yes.
really cool to see them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're great. They're so comfy.
I need to get that
There
deer
we
go. I wore
one,
it
the
yesterday,
slouchy
actually.
deer one. I want that one.
Highly suggested.
Did you say sloppy deer?
No, the slouchy,
Slouchy.
one. It's like a slouch.
It's also sloppy because
Sloppy
deer,
deer sounds like a
slouchy
move
deer.
I haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
what is a sloppy deer? Cunning
I don't know.
linguistics. Sloppy
It's
deer.
got to involve salt or something.
Salt.
Why?
What about
a salt lick.
Lucas?
Ooh. What if you had a salt lick made out of like Lucas?
Oh my god, I would die.
Probably because you probably
Mariel died of lack of moisture in
Yeah,
her
just like
body.
a sodium overload. You're just like, that would be a piece of leather.
It'd just be this brown block. Just
your tongue would be all dried up and you'd be like,
Just like-
oh man.
Have you guys? Okay, sorry, this is so off topic, but like, have you guys
Wrong
seen
show.
those pictures of like different deer? They're like different like hoofed animals. I don't know, but they're like they climb canyons and stuff to like lick the salt.
Yeah.
But it's like they're like
They're
literally
called goats.
Yeah.
I know goats climb on trees and mountains and shit, but
these weird hooved animals.
Yeah, I remember when the
mystical.
goats climb the trees to get to the salt.
Whatever.
That's
Fucking
sweet
goats.
tree salt at the top.
But like no, you see the pictures and it's like they're like literally like on a flat surface. Like you can't unexplained on
You
how they get
can't.
up there. But then
That's
it's like
a paranormal experience.
There. That's Mariel going for Lucas.
that's me and Lucas, man. Like how does that shit happen?
That should be your Halloween
That's
costume.
parkour, dude. That's parkour.
Wow.
oh, that's
Anyway,
great.
I'm so sorry to.
No.
That was a
on that
wonderful
tangent.
story.
I've never known about these things. I learned something new today.
Me too.
About
Goats.
I
Lucas?
also learned about Lucas.
Oh,
yeah.
goats.
Lucas and the goats.
Lucas sounds like a drug. Hey, girl, did you
Hey,
do some
if
Lucas?
somebody has Lucas, go ahead and send us a bunch to the
Oh my
receipt
god!
office. We would love you so much. I have not been able to find it. I did find at the HEB by me, because there's a lot of Mexican people at the HEB by me, the accordion candy kind of stuff that you squirt out,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
like the red candy cane
I
stuff.
don't like that stuff.
I did find that.
There's so many different candy. So many.
A lot of
different
Mexican
types.
candies.
Best.
Yeah.
Well, to completely shift gears
From Mexican candies?
from Mexican candies. So this is our segment called The Worst. And this one is submitted by Daniel H. And
worst.
Daniel wants to know the worst response you've gotten when turning someone down. So for me, I was actually with my friend Aaron Zek, that some people watching may know. You guys know. We were over at a bar down on 6th Street one night. And we were hanging with Blaine and Aaron and Chris and all these people, and her and I went to go get a drink at the bar, and it was a very crowded venue. It was this place called the Blind Pig, and they have the rooftop area. Yeah, it's one of those places. But it was very crowded that night. It was a really nice night, so everyone was on the patio, and we were having a conversation about something a little more serious. So we were talking like close, very close, like into the conversation. And this guy comes up to us. He like squeezes past everyone and comes up to us. He goes, "Hey, ladies, how you doing tonight?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, like we're in the middle of a conversation." He goes, "So what? It's gonna be like that?" And we're like, "I'm sorry, like we're having a conversation. We're not really interested in chatting right now." Kind of interrupted in the middle of a private conversation. And he goes, "You're out at a bar." And I'm like, "So we wanted to get some drinks."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, but like, why would you come out to a bar to have a private conversation? That doesn't mean anything."
It's almost like private conversations could happen spontaneously.
Crazy, I know.
Also,
As in, like, I
anything could
normally
happen.
plan my private conversations and like make sure I've like scheduled them perfectly.
Yeah, did you schedule your private
Yeah, I
conversations?
scheduled them.
Yeah.
Make sure
Usually
this
in
guy's
libraries.
Well, he was very upset about it, and like I kept trying to say like, "Hey, dude, like I'm sorry, just like we'll chat with you in a second," but he just wasn't having it.
Because he was upset that you turned him. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was extremely upset. His ego and pride were
His
hurt.
ego and pride were hurt, and it's like I get like if you're trying to put yourself out there and people turn you down instantly, it's
a bummer.
Like, it's a
Yeah, it
bummer,
sucks, yeah.
but also have a
Don't be
little
a dick.
class about
Yeah.
it.
Don't be a dick.
Like, all
It's a
right.
bummer.
Not interested.
Move on.
Move
Yeah.
on. But he
Yeah.
just kept ragging on us. He called us bitches and cunts because we wouldn't talk to him.
It's my favorite band.
Bitches and cunts. It's like peaches and cream.
Yeah.
They just go together so well.
They go together so well.
Yeah.
I'll put it on cream.
And so at one point we just had to be like, dude, like, I'm sorry, get out of here. Like, I'm not fucking interested.
Sorry, I don't know what their problem is over here.
I just need to swallow that real quick.
Here.
Oh man.
Oh, Jessica. Oh, Jessica.
Oh, Jessica. Yeah, that sucks. I can't connect with that completely because I've never just been like, I don't excessively have people thrown at me.
Hit
at
on relentlessly
yeah.
by one douchebag.
Right. But I gotta imagine that sucks.
Well, it's like I always feel terrible if I do have to turn someone down because that's never like a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Because you empathize that if a guy approaches you, that takes some gumption and
Absolutely.
some courage, and to have to turn him down, that's dashing hopes that he might have had.
and I always try to be nice about it, but this guy was rude right from the bat.
Yeah.
Like right from the start, I mean. And it's just like, if you're gonna be that way, I'm not gonna give you the courtesy of turning you down lightly. I'm gonna be rude about it. I'm gonna be like, dude, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
That sucks.
No, yeah, my experience was very similar. Where you're at a bar and like I was at a bar in Austin and I was with my friends
at a
and
what?
I was at a bar.
EAR.
Did your mother know?
Crazy. I don't know. It was weird.
God, Jessica.
She would have
Catholic
grounded me. I know, my Catholic mom. And some guy at the bar asked to buy me a drink, and I was like, "Oh, sure, of course." And
Did you say it like that?
And at the time I was single, and I was just with my friends, a big group of friends. There were some guys there too, but none of us were dating each other. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so he bought me a drink, and we just started having conversation. And I'm a friendly person. I feel like I'm a very open and friendly person.
Yeah.
And we
It's
just
nice of
started
you to
making.
think
Some
that.
may say you're always open.
Thank you, John. And so we were just talking, and then I was like, all right, well, it was really great. She just.
Classy.
I made a joke that you didn't hear.
Continue story.
Anyway, and so yeah, and I was just like, okay, well, it's really great talking to you, because my friends were like, Jessica, we gotta go to the second bar. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta go. It was really nice talking to you. And he's just like, wait, that's it? And I was like, I gotta go.
What do you want?
Yeah, and he was just like,
What does he
so-
expect? Like, find a quick hand job. While
See,
we-
I want to know that. You're a man. Let me know. What are they asking for?
I mean, like, I
Maybe
guess,
your
like,
number?
No, again.
I can't just sit and have a simple
No.
conversation.
Again, I'm sure he was expecting it or hoping for a continuation of the thing.
Yeah.
But you leaving sucks. But you by no means signed a contract
But
of
then
like.
you're right. But then he proceeded and he called me a bitch.
Oh.
He was just like, he was
stupid.
like, well, you're a bitch, and I was like, what did I? Yeah, I was
Even
like,
though
yes.
you like came over and actually took the time and chatted with him and everything.
Yes, and granted, yeah, I might have had a couple of drinks and I might have flirted a bit, but does that mean I can never ever flirt with a guy?
No.
And it always has to end up in something more than that. Like and I'm gonna get called a bitch every time I do that.
Boys are fucking stupid.
Thank you.
I think maybe some guys do this where if they feel like they're succeeding even a little bit, they want to like actually take it somewhere. And so if they're like, yes,
Where?
she's into it, either like getting a number or taking you home or doing something.
What do they do to take
too.
you home?
Fuck you.
What?
I know.
Do you know what that is?
Is that an option?
Yeah, they put, John, they put the penis in the vagina.
The P and the V.
Like over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
again.
Just kind of touches it.
It's just like kind of
It
slides
could do
along.
that. It could slide. It could. Oh, keep
Just-
going.
Just full
It's
penetration.
whatever. What do you prefer?
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of this.
Fucking farm, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what that is like.
I'm learning so much on this show. I'm learning so much. Appreciate
So
it.
maybe he thought like he was getting there, and then when you were just like, I'm out, it was like, well, what the fuck? I put all this work into it.
No, I
weren't
get it.
even
No, I
talking
totally,
about
I
and he
totally
shouldn't
get
have
it.
acted like
We
that.
weren't even
That's what
talking
I'm
about
saying.
anything sexual.
Well,
We're
I'm saying
just-
I get it that like it is a venture to put yourself out there, to go up to a girl, to go up to anybody, and make an attempt at amorous activities.
Absolutely.
And be turned down. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That doesn't
I
give
get it.
anybody any fucking right, unless the person is rude in the way that they deal with it. Like if Jessica can be like, "Oh, cool," and just walked away.
Or she's
I
like,
did
hey,
not
fuck
do.
you, bye.
Yeah,
I did not
free
do
drink,
it.
JK, bye.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like that, then it's like, yeah, you're a bitch. But it was like, hey, I'm gonna go. Thank you for the drink. This was nice. Cool.
It was a
Cut
nice
your losses, bro, and move on.
Yeah, exactly. And I also
Be the good guy.
I've never
Be a
had
gentleman.
Yeah, and I've never had a one night stand, so it's not like I'm like, hey man, come with me over here, because then later tonight we're gonna like bang it out, because that's just not who I am
Also,
as a
like
person.
something that's cool
And-
about going out, especially downtown and drinking, is like you get to meet a lot of new people.
Yeah.
Even if
Exactly.
it's just these brief little instances of like getting a drink
Yeah.
with someone
Yeah.
and like having a quick chat and be like, all right,
And
it was
that
great
should
to
be
meet
okay.
you. I'm gonna go.
I get way too friendly when I'm drunk.
Me too.
Me
way too
too.
friendly.
But
FYI, you get really friendly when you're not drunk as well.
You're just a good person, Ariel. I'm sorry to tell you.
You know who gets way too friendly when they're drunk?
Bruh.
Everyone at this company.
Patrick Matthews.
Yeah, well, he gets Patrick.
Holy
he gets
shit.
friendly in
That's
different
just-
Holy
ways.
shit.
That's
He
just
gets friendly
Patrick
in different
Matthews in
ways.
general.
Thank you so much.
Patrick. Yep.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jack.
My story is actually a little different in that it was this girl that I had probably been seeing for like 2 to 3 weeks, and this was solely like a rebound thing for me because I had just been in a long distance.
You guys
long
doing the
term.
Ouija board, apparently.
Yeah, we did the Ouija board together. It was like a
Grab her butt.
just like a very very casual for me. It was like a very casual thing. Because I had just gotten just a few months out of a serious long-term relationship, long-distance relationship, and So like, you know, I'd been seeing this one girl, and as I was like, all right, like I don't think I'm ready to start anything. Like I'm not there. Like I need to work on myself.
You need to know who you are.
On me. I need to eat, pray, love it, and like get the fuck out.
That can be taken in such a different context as a lesbian. I need to eat.
That book title
Very well.
changes when you add an "it" at the
To
end.
eat, pray, and love it. And so I remember like being like on my way to be like, all right, I gotta, you know, finish this. Like I can't. This was like 2 to 3 weeks of like seeing each other. Like it wasn't, like I said, very casual. So I get there and she's just like, hey, like, you know, things have been going so great. And I'm like, oh no. And she's like, I don't know. And she's like, you know, like I really think we should like, you know, talk about being in a relationship and like I love you. And I was like,
Woo!
no!
Wow.
Shit.
L word.
Shit.
2 weeks?
Oh, she was fucking crazy. Literally fucking crazy.
I mean, Meryl, you're a catch and all that.
Oh,
And, like, I don't
Barbara.
blame her.
Stop it! But tell me more, Barbie.
Why you turn Jewish all of a sudden?
I love it. I love
I have to relate to her.
She's like Bubby.
What you doing?
But yeah,
here?
no, that was just like, I'm here to like never speak to you again, and here you're telling me this, and so it was just kind of like, well,
Ooh.
how do I? So I continued dating her for like at least a little bit longer.
Oh, you couldn't say, like, peace out.
You're
Or
too nice of a person.
I guess it's hard if someone's telling you they love you and want to be with you, then at that point it'd be
Yeah.
like,
I have never. Have either of you ever been in a situation where someone has told you "I love you" at the wrong time?
no. Luckily
I
not.
think so, no.
I don't ever. No, I've luckily never gone through that.
I've only really had like 3 serious relationships,
Yeah.
so luckily they've all been.
Is there any way to play that off? Someone saying
someone's
"I
like,
love you" when it's not the right time and
"I
you don't
love
feel
you."
it. What do you do?
Oh, I love spending
Thanks?
time
That's terrible,
with
right?
you.
That's the worst.
What?
It's like, thank
Texas
you.
is saying goodbye. Say goodbye.
I
You
don't
rough.
know.
You rough.
See, in my mind, I would say it back. Just
Oh, you're killing Texas over
just
here.
because I'm such an awkward person.
You are. You're a Canadian.
and I can't be like, oh no.
No. Like, oh, that's so awkward.
In my mind, and this may be because I'm an old man, is that like the best way you could do it is to maybe actually like talk it out and be like,
Listen.
I understand that might be the case, or I don't know. It's like but I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm still enjoying our time. I like you. I'm really, you know, I don't know if like everything you say cheapens it, but it's like I'm just not there yet.
Well, of course. I mean, everyone takes.
I've had a
certain
conversation
amount
with
of
someone similar to that where it's like we both felt like we were getting there, but we didn't want to use that word.
time. Yeah.
But like I've never been in a situation where someone has said, "I love you," and you're like,
I've never. Yeah.
"Cool."
I mean, again, I've only been in 3 like actual relationships.
Yeah, and hopefully you being a good person wouldn't like lead that person on to
Yeah,
that
me
point.
being a good person.
Hopefully you are. I hope so.
Do you know? Jen?
Oh, maybe not. Also, you have 2 eyelashes like right here, and I
Do
want
I?
to like.
Can you get them?
Oh, you
There's
put
one.
it, your spit on
It's
it?
okay.
You can just like
Will
pick
you
it
make a
up.
wish?
Make a
I
wish.
hate that.
No.
Why'd you have to cough on it?
I didn't. It was just
I would
like
love
you
if that went like right.
Let me
into
tell
your
you.
head.
Let me tell you really quick. Jessica saying I'm a good person. The first time that Jessica and I ever got to hang out was by accident. We actually sat next to each other during an Moulin Rouge sing along at Draft House. No,
Yeah.
Jessica was there with
We're
a
at
friend.
a-
I
at
was there with a
capacity.
friend. We sat down serendipitously next to each other. That's a word.
Not
and,
planned whatsoever.
And sing along, Moulin Rouge. We're singing. First song happens, and everyone in the auditorium is singing. Jessica turns to me after the song is over. She says, "If you out-sing me one more time, I will cut you."
That is
That makes
such,
total sense for Jessica.
That is so perfect.
Because it was over singing, and I was like, "Look, man, this is like a sing along. I get you're really singing right now, but everyone's not like really trying to sing. We're all just kind of trying to sing together." And he's over there
But
singing.
you and McGregor singing. I'm gonna sing with you.
I get it. So then I was like, I'm gonna sing too, then, bitch. And so I was like, I'm gonna work on my diaphragm.
And you know, everyone else in the theater is just like, fuck, I fucking hate this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
those 2 down there. They're such
They have
It was
these
really
fucking
fun.
theater
Though. It was really
people.
fun. Alamo does a great job with those like events. They're such a fantastic
The only
company.
Alamo event I've ever been to was the Mean Girls quote along.
Oh, that would have been so great.
And I did it. They had part of the cast there for it. Not like the girls. They had what's it, the big guy with the pink shirt?
Yes.
Damien.
Damien. And
I want my pink shirt back.
the guy she has a crush on,
Oh, Aaron Samuels.
who is
Yes.
actually
You're right. You're right.
gay.
I am
Aaron
thoroughly
Samuels is
impressed.
gay?
He's gay, yeah.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Thank
That's
God.
wonderful.
Which is a shame because he is a beautiful man,
He's
and I was
really
just
cute.
like, damn it!
You wanted to pet
I
his
have no
face.
chance.
Yeah.
I was single at the time. I'm sorry, Aaron.
You wanted
She
to
was
push his-
single.
You wanted to
She
push
was
his
single.
hair
Sorry,
back.
Aaron.
I did. I wanted to tell him it was October 3rd over and over again.
Oh my god. It's past
We were talking about something other than Mean Girls a second ago. I don't know what it was.
Turning people down.
Turning people down.
And the worst.
What
Yeah.
do
was
you
your
do? You have a
story?
story?
that would assume that I've turned someone down.
Yeah.
Here, let's do it right now. Anyone want to go out?
Fuck no.
There you go. Worst story.
No, actually, I would say I don't have a really bad story of someone really like reacting poorly when I turn them down, but I have been hit on. I hate when I get hit on by someone who is clearly drunk. I don't like that. It's not attractive to me when you are clearly inebriated and really like beyond your facets, like, and so I will turn you down and be like, hey, peace. Like, and so that's happened on a couple occasions now, and I've been with, like, I was one time with a friend and someone was hitting on me, and I was like, my friend was like being nice and like totally talking them up. I just didn't feel like talking them up, and so I was like being kind of standoffish. And so the person left. My friend asked me why I was being all standoffish. I'm like, I really don't like it when people are super drunk. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm not drunk, if I'm not the same level, and I'm like a little sober, it's a
Well,
very big turn off.
You want it to be genuine too, and if someone's like really, really wasted, you don't know if they're actually like into you, or if they're interested, or if they're just
They're
like,
just beer uncles.
dude, let me fuck that. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only time I've ever really like had to turn someone down, is that.
But you have no like actual like terrible experiences.
No, not any bad experiences.
We'll get you there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll find someone
We'll
for
go
you.
out. We'll go out on
I just have a rule. Just fuck anybody who hits on me.
Oh.
All right.
I take back everything I just said. Because you're like my brother, and that would be weird.
Oh.
I thought for a second you were gonna insinuate that your brother does the exact same thing.
Oh. I don't want to
Okay.
know anything about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Your brother's probably had sex.
You know what I
Your
do?
brother has had sex.
You know what
I'm
I-
sure.
You know what I do want to know about? First membership. This episode of Always Open is brought to you by First Membership. With the First Membership, you get access to exclusive content, premium series, early access to episodes, live broadcasts, and much more. Start your free month trial at roosterteeth.com/first.
You can watch this show one day earlier than everybody
One day,
else.
whole 24 hours early.
And you get your own little show to watch.
You do, yeah. We actually have
Oh,
a
you get the
post show
post-show?
that we do
You
called.
get to watch some of the shows that actually have the balls to shoot live,
It's true. We don't.
like
There's
on the spot.
Yeah. Do you know what our post show is called for this show?
Just take a guess.
Just guess.
Gaping badge.
All right. Well,
Well,
No, that's my personal show.
I don't know actually. What is
that's
it called?
Barbara's own live stream.
It's called Still Open.
She loves it. Look at her face. She lights up so much.
she gets such a kick out of it.
It's just the dumbest fucking thing
No, it's
ever.
good. We were just talking a second ago about how shitty it is to name stuff.
It is.
It's hard.
It's like and the same thing with I'll go the designer route since I'm the graphic designer, is that logos are the same thing. They're pointless, but they have to be good.
Yeah,
Names are pointless, but they have to be good.
they have to be. They have to be catchy.
Yeah.
I love everything about this show. So good job to everyone.
I
who's
love
working on
your
it.
show's name
Yeah,
and your logo and
thank
everything
you.
like that. It's
I love the
fantastic.
host.
You have a good show.
I like those too.
Stop.
Now you just made it creepy.
All right, guys. So just to wrap things up, we're going to be doing Sexpertise. Hey guys, so I'm a bisexual woman, and I've had this crush on this girl I'm friends with for a while now. I want to build up the courage to tell her that I like her, but I've never really done something like this before, so I'm not really sure how to go about it without being super awkward. Thank you, Megan, for the question.
That's rough, no matter what.
Yeah.
To make any sort of amorous advancement on a friend.
Yes.
That's rough.
Especially when you don't know if that friend has the same sexuality
You have
as
something
you.
to lose. You have something to lose.
You do.
Yeah.
No matter what, even without the sexuality problem, you have something to lose as far as a friendship.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know if you really can completely come back from hitting on a friend and being rejected. That's rough.
I think you can.
I think you can too. It depends on how you go about it.
Yeah.
And also how that friend reacts to it.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who, if they're friends with someone and that person advances on them in a sexual manner or like wants to have a relationship with them, they feel very awkward about it, and they don't know how to treat that situation if they're not interested.
I guess in the event that the friend is that you're at least like somewhat positive that the friend is at least of the sexual orientation that you're looking for, it's worth just going for it.
I think so too.
Having a conversation.
I would say someone. I'll go from my personal experience. Someone who comes from being married for a long time and then going through a divorce and then going back into the dating world. It's scary as all fuck to try new things and to put yourself out there. It's scary as all fuck for anybody to put themselves out there.
yeah, of course.
You know, talking about guys being rejected from you and that kind of thing. The one thing I've learned is just fucking go for it. And the life's too short. There's so little time on this earth. You don't know when things are gonna end. Like just get ballsy and try it out.
I think you should also be very clear with this friend of saying, hey, I'm interested in you, but if you don't reciprocate these feelings, that won't ruin our friendship, and I'm okay with that. Like putting that out there, like
It's very grown
if
up.
if you are not interested in me, I understand, and I still want to be friends with you. And saying that right off the bat would make that person feel more comfortable in being honest with you.
Be prepared for some awkwardness, but don't let the awkwardness ever stop you from doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like just because you're worried about things being awkward, that's going to stop you from making a lot of decisions in life.
Absolutely.
Be prepared for a little bit of awkwardness, but go from an adult perspective and be very open about it. Communication is very important. Don't just be stupid about it. Be like, hey, you want to go out? Be open about it. Like what you were just saying. That's great.
I agree, and also this has happened before, not necessarily with a bisexual situation, but with a guy friend of mine that had a crush on me, and I didn't feel the same way towards him. And there was, maybe a week or two where it was just a little strange, but that doesn't mean that your friendship's over, and then lo and behold, all of a sudden we're back to being friends again.
Yeah.
It
So
can almost
just
be a
know-
joke at some point.
Yeah,
it can almost
just-
be something you laugh about later on.
Exactly. So just know if there is that awkwardness that happens after you might approach this person, because I believe in open and honest communication, especially when you approach it in a very mature way and you've thought about your thoughts before approaching them about it. There might be some awkwardness, but just know something like that. If your friendship it really is what it is, and it's an amazing friendship, and you guys have been friends forever, something like that won't destroy your friendship.
Yeah.
And just know that there might be some awkwardness, but it'll go back to the way it was in due time.
I actually had a very, very similar situation to this where I was friends with this guy and I could sense that he was getting interested in me in more of a sexual way. And I knew I didn't feel that way about him, so I sent a message, this big long message to him being like, I really value our friendship, but I could sense that you're feeling something for me, and I just wanted to let you know that I don't feel that way about you, but I care so much about you as a friend. And it hurt him, and there was that bit of awkwardness between us where we didn't talk for a while, but then all it took was him getting into a different relationship and just moving on, and then all of a sudden it was
Back to
fine, back to
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
So it's possible that could happen,
I agree.
but I again, life is short,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
terrible
If you
to
are
waste that
true
opportunity.
friends and it doesn't work out, you guys will remain friends.
Yeah.
in
I think
the
you just
end.
have to be
I think
okay
so.
with putting yourself out there, and then also just being okay with all right, this didn't work out. It's gonna be a
Rejection.
little awkward.
Yeah.
But if you still want to be friends, you should be friends.
Yeah, I understand the stakes are higher when it's a friend because I'm talking from the perspective of someone who's talking to a stranger or on a
Yeah.
dating app. It's you don't really have much to lose if you get ballsy and put yourself out there. All right, move on to the next person. Friends, there's stakes at hand, but again, if the friendship is something that's a little bit deeper than just surface level, it'll be fine. It'll heal. Don't give up on it.
Yeah.
Have faith in it.
And it's again, life's too short to never question what could be. Because maybe for all she knows, she could also be interested, and it could be a beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want to
just
be
grab
missing
each other.
by the pussy.
Yep. Or that. Or that.
Why? Why? Why?
It's like holding hands.
What hand motion are you making right now?
I'm grabbing each other by the pussy.
I thought those were boobs. I thought you were just
Nope, she's grabbing two. Apparently, there's two women involved in this, and you're grabbing two pussies.
Yeah,
Just women.
two bisexual women.
It's you and two other women is what you're expressing.
Sure, why not?
Barbara is bringing them together.
I
I'm
will
going to go
say
like this and pull them close together.
They're little front butts.
By the pussy.
it's actually kind of fun once you get past
Damn it, Trump.
when it.
Fuck. Fuck off.
Jessica broke. Jessica broke. We broke Jessica.
What were you saying, John?
I was just saying that actually becomes something like when, getting back into the dating scene was fucking scary.
Yeah.
But, and it's almost like coming out of a coma when you've been married for a long time.
Yeah, because if you're okay talking about it, you were married and then
I was married for
recently
like 9
divorced.
years.
Yeah.
And so getting back into it was like, hey, back in the real world. I felt like Tom Hanks in Sleepless in Seattle.
Or like in Castaway.
Or Castaway. Have you fucked a volleyball yet?
Longer. I was longer.
Do you think he fucked Wilson?
He fucked Wilson.
I mean, it's
Did
a
Wilson
ball.
have
Like
a
if
hole
you
in
think
him?
about the logistics
Wilson
of it,
probably had
like
Probably at the bottom.
Anyways,
yeah.
it was scary. And I was playing, and I tried to play it very safe and very scared because that's what just felt natural. But then once I got past that and was able to get a little bit more, just like, hey, just put yourself out there. Especially, it's like you got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Life's short. If you want something, go for it.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
agreed.
And if it doesn't work out, move on.
Yeah.
A demon could sit on the hood of your car and you can have an accident the
You
next
can
day.
take a shit on it.
Yeah,
and then
pop a spot.
Shit. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Megan. Good luck.
let us know how it goes.
Yeah, send us
Yeah.
an email.
Yeah.
Also, if you have any segments for Sexpertise, you want our advice on something, my first time, ask us anything, the worst, or a shot that you'd like to submit, email alwaysopen@roosterteeth.com.
You guys have an email address?
We
Yeah, we
do.
do.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
or
we
if
do.
you just want to tell us about your feelings towards the show, we'd
Yeah.
love to hear from you.
Yeah.
About
We read
About.
all of those emails.
We
so.
do. And if you're a first member, make sure to check out our post show called Still Open, and that is posted every Thursday night as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you guys next week.
Bye.